Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for this video, you're going to need to go to a new page in your sketchbook, and I want you to take a moment. Please pause the video, okay? And I want you to copy down everything that you see here, okay? It's not going to take that long. Just need you to put these basic things. Also, while you're getting your stuff, okay, on your paper, need you to get a couple of materials. You need 2 brushes, if possible, okay? If you have soft brushes, that is what I'm kind of looking for. I'm also looking for small brushes, not huge brushes, okay? A little hard to do these small details with a big brush, okay? You need 2 cups of water, okay? I will explain why for the 2, and a paper towel. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please pause the video and please copy what's on the page. Excellent. Okay, so one thing I definitely told you was that you need some watercolors. Now, I'm currently at home making my video, so I'm going to be using my daughter's. Now, they actually have a pretty big spread of watercolors. Now, in class, we do not have all these colors, okay? And depending on at home, you may or may not have all these colors too. But you need something that, you know, you can at least get the primary and the secondary colors with, okay? All right, so why do I have 2 things of water? Well, I'm gonna give you a hint on something, okay? One is a pre-wash, the other one is a rinse, or wash and rinse, okay? So this is what happens. So I'm gonna keep this one. This one's always gonna be clean, all right? I'm gonna get some green, you know, paint. You see that's green, okay? I'm gonna wash, rinse, clear. Notice my rinse is not dirty, okay? And neither is my paintbrush, okay? So you wanna wash and rinse, and a paper towel to blot off the excess, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're gonna go move this on over and we're gonna start working on our paper. Now, just so you know, excuse me, the paper that you're using in your sketchbook, okay, it is a little thicker, all right? Watercolors are best with watercolor paper. Watercolor paper is heavier. It's able to take on more water, okay? And what happens is if you ever paint on thin paper, you notice that it probably goes right through it. What happens is that basically what you're doing is called overworking the paper, okay? We kind of know that paper is made from like wood pulp, okay, and water, kind of mixed together. Well, unfortunately, if there is too much water and not enough, you know, wood there, it's gonna be overwhelming and it's gonna get all mushy and you're not gonna wanna do anything with it. Now, thicker paper is double layered, double. So even though the water's going through, it's not gonna do as much. So please be careful. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a moment and we're gonna fill out the color wheel. You know that the color wheel is made up of primary and secondary colors, okay? Primary colors, we have red, blue, yellow. So those are our primary. Our secondary are purple or violet, okay? Orange and green. So let's take a moment and I want you to very, very carefully have good brush control. You're gonna fill in your actual color wheel, okay? And don't forget, you're gonna wash off in your wash in between each colors and then make sure to dip it into your rinse. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get moving. Oh my heavens, there's so many colors. Good control, by the way, means that you stay within the lines. Okay, now there we are. That's beautiful control. Into the rinse, tap, tap, tap. Into the, into the wash, then into the rinse. Okay. Oh my heavens, there's so many colors here. Good brush control, okay? And if there's any point in time that you need to stop, because I'm painting too fast, please do so. Like what kind of yellow? Oh, this is like a golden yellow, which is cool. Green. Oop, I see a hair. I think it might have been I don't know, a hair to a paintbrush, or there we are. Or maybe it was an eyelash. Now, one thing I forgot to tell you, okay, is that we're going to be mixing your colors. So you're going to actually need something that we'll be able to mix upon, okay? And I'll kind of go over that in a second, what we need. All right, so blue. Now, all of these colors here are pretty much pre-made, okay? There we are. There is another layer of color where we do mix together, okay? A primary and a secondary color. They're called, oh, I think I hear someone say it, tertiary or intermediate, yes. So tertiary or intermediate, I tend to say tertiary, okay, are the colors that are in between. What we're gonna do is we're gonna actually paint the lines, those colors. Now, you're probably saying, well, where do I mix it? Great question. I forgot to tell you, okay? You have a couple of options. In class, we do have these like little plastic, oh, even better, I can pop that off. Did not realize I could. Okay, we have these trays that have these little wells in them, all right? They are actually watercolor paint wells, okay? What you do is you take a little bit of water, see, I kind of like put a little water, and you can mix colors into them, okay? Now, yes, I have had people mix in the top of the watercolors. Now, I'm not suggesting that you should do that because it is kind of hard to clean this, but you can, if you want to, get a paper baggie or wax paper, something that has like a slickness to it, or tin foil, and that is actually pretty easy to do that, okay? All right, let's make our tertiaries. So tertiary, I took my red and I took my orange and I made a tertiary. Tertiaries, okay, when we call them by the primary name first and then the secondary. So this would be red, orange, okay? The next one, yellow is the primary, yellow, orange. Oh, good. Yellow, green, blue, purple, and boy, you guys are good. Red, purple. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a moment and let's paint those lines. Gonna mix your colors. Remember to wash your brush in between those colors so we don't mix them on the palette. Ooh, that yellow orange is beautiful. And by the way, if you ever mix up, you're like, oh, I painted the wrong thing, do me a favor, just go get a pencil and just, just put an arrow. It'll be okay. I don't know about you guys, but my wash is looking pretty gross. Okay, so I have yellow and I need a little bit of green. Ooh, that's an awesome looking color. All right, we need some blue and some green. Let's see. Oh, I love this color. I don't know about you, but I definitely love blue-green. I'm actually gonna put a hint more blue in there. Oh no, that's just beautiful. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now, this paper is, let me tell you, taking this watercolor very nicely. It is, if we paint the whole thing, just so you guys know, it may buckle or it might curl, and that is a possibility, okay? You can, by the way, fix that. I know this sounds strange, but you can actually iron your papers. You're like, okay, Mrs. Smith, that's crazy. I know it's crazy, but you can actually do that. What I do is I get like a towel, like a tea towel, or like a regular towel that you use in your bath, okay? And I put it in between, the paper in between, okay? And then all I do is I just iron it. And the heat and the steam go right into the paper, and it kind of like cools down, and it's fun. Very cool, right? Yeah. All right, last one. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, this is another beautiful color. Oh, aren't you in love with it? I'm in love with it. Okay, so we have all these colors. You know what? I'm okay with us using these colors for the next one, so we'll be fine. Okay, so we did them. With your project, I would highly suggest that since we are now in middle school, okay, middle school students don't need to use the basic primary and secondary colors. We should be able to use a range of colors. What does a range mean? It means all the different colors that we've got here. Okay, so let's talk about clean edges, all right? I don't know about you, but let me tell you, when I was younger, I would go painting, and all of a sudden, after a while, things would start bleeding into each other, okay? So how do we prevent that? Well, it's very simple. We let one space dry before we go to another space, okay? So I'm just gonna sit here and kind of blow on it. I can test it. It's still wet. You can also notice that I don't see any puddles in here. Puddles are, you know, although they're fun to, you know, run through, please don't have them on your paper. All right, so is that, yeah, that's doing good. So we're gonna take another color and we're gonna go right next to it. And notice how nice of a clean line we can get. They're not really bleeding one into the next. That's because we let it dry. Ooh, look at that blending there. All right, I'll show you an example of what happens when we don't. So watch. So if I put that here and I'm like, I'm gonna put some green right here, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, they're mixing. Then I'm gonna be asking, were you trying to blend from one color to the next, or was it meant to be that it was supposed to be, you know, like that, okay? Okay, layering. So we're gonna take this, and I'm just gonna put whatever color I have on my brush down. And I'm gonna let it dry. Now, one question that I get a lot, okay, is I made a mistake. Can I get rid of this? You actually can with watercolor. Not so much on here, but if you take your paintbrush, okay, and I'll show you. I'll clean off my paintbrush, okay, and if I re-wet a space, I can actually pull up some of the color. Now, as I said, doesn't really work so well on regular paper, but actually you can kind of see the pink. But on actual watercolor paper, let me tell you, you can pick up a lot of the color, okay? Now this is starting to get dry. Did you also know that you can go on top of things? So if I wanted to, I could add paint on top and layer it. So I'll make it look like there's grass, okay? I'm gonna let that layer dry, because the next layer I put on, I don't want to blend, to bleed. Oh my heavens, I totally didn't realize, sorry. My entire thing was moved over. Okay, so dry. Wow, this paper does do really well. All right, so I'm gonna get another color and I'm gonna go right on top. See, watercolors look fantastic when they're layered, okay? you can add one base coat and then add another and then another, and it's just so cool. Awesome. Or in the words of my kids, awesome sauce. Or actually, I think I say it to them. Okay, so lines, textures, what can we do with actual paint other than just paint things? Well, we can actually do different lines. We can make thin lines, thick lines, wavy lines, lines that can be zigzag, fat, all different things, okay? Dry brush, it's exactly what it is. You take it and you dry off your brush. So in this case, we have little to no water on our actual brush. We're gonna get some paint and we're just gonna kind of like go on it. It gives this rough look, which is really cool. This is a great texture, by the way. Next is dabbing. No, do not stop right now and put your hands up and look like you're sneezing, but you're really not sneezing because I feel like it looks like sneezing. And dab, okay? Dabbing is a little different. Dabbing is just bouncing your brush on the paper, okay? Some people actually like to mix the colors here, so let's put another color in there. Ooh, I like this color that we have. It's like a purple. And like just mush them together. Just dab. Okay? You may have noticed something, by the way. More water to your paint makes light colors. Less water, put a little bit, okay? Less water makes brighter colors. Just a tip, okay? So less water, lighter colors. Oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh, I'm so confused. More water, lighter colors, less water, bolder colors. Spray, okay. Do not, I'm not having you take this and flick like this, okay? How to do the spray. I have a particular way that I like to teach people on how to do the spray. No, we are not taking where you're tapping on your finger. Sorry, don't do that. This one you get wet. Take it, bend back your brush, and have at it, people. It's called a controlled spray, okay? If you don't want something to get sprayed, cover it, okay? And then it won't go. Look at that, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I layered it. Ooh, I love it. What does it look like over here? Oh, it's fantastic, fantastic. Okay, we are almost done, ladies and gentlemen. We have 2 more things to do, and then you are right as rain and ready to go. So we're gonna have blending out. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your brush and you're gonna load it up with some water. You're gonna get a color, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're literally going to just kind of let it fade out. Then we're gonna quickly go get some water, and we're gonna go on top of it, and we're just gonna pull it through. All right, this kind of fades it out. Another way you can do it, wet the paper, quickly take your brush, and it will bleed through too. Now, how am I gonna get this kind of like to blend out? What I'm doing is I'm kind of just working it and stretching it out, okay? Oh my heavens, my puppy is right here. Mr. Toby, what are you doing? Do you want to say hello to the people at home? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oops. All right, everyone. I don't know if you can see this. Woo! There's my clip. Say hi. Hi. He's sniffing. He likes watercolors too. Hard to see him. So just a mop. He wants to do watercolors too. Just looks like a fluffy, fluffy, fluffy guy. Okay, so blending. Oh, what I was saying is sometimes what you might want to do is you can kind of like dab off the water to kind of get it to go. And if you can imagine, I don't know if you could see this, but what I'm doing is I'm pressing hard and then I kind of get lighter and lighter as here, okay? Sometimes you just have to like kind of push it through. I'm gonna kind of manipulate it, saying, okay, we're gonna push it through. All right. Now, for this one, that one doesn't look so good to me. I don't know. There we go. That's the ticket. I'm gonna pull up some of this, get it to blend. Okay, there we go. Sometimes you gotta kind of manipulate it. Do me a favor, try to see if you can practice this like 4 times in this space, maybe 1 more. Blending one to the next. Now this, as I said, is gonna be kind of challenging because this paper is not watercolor. So I'm gonna try to blend from one color to the next. So I would highly suggest that you move fast on this one. So I'm gonna go here, quickly get my brush all mixed and ready to go. Go on the other side and go right into the original color. Now, I think I might have to go on this one and go into the other color too. And I'm petting this. It's almost like I'm petting like a soft thing. Sorry, as I'm talking to you guys, my puppy is chewing the cords. Toby, don't chew the cords. The people at home don't want to see you being electrocuted. Oh! Okay, so once again, let's work fast. One goes in one direction, okay, and another goes in the other direction. And you might have to pull it back through. You might have to take a little bit of the original color and kind of blend it through, okay? You have plenty of space down here to be able to practice this at least 4 times, okay? Now the last thing, last important note, this is so important, okay? Please, please, I'm gonna like, hold on. All my cords are everywhere. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, watch. Please do not outline with Sharpie, okay? Why don't we outline in Sharpie? Because we are in middle school, peoples. We do not need to outline everything in Sharpie. If you need to add details, add it with paint, or take a pencil, take a thin pen, or colored pencils, and add your details on with that, okay? So watch, even if I went like this, okay? Like, it looks so much better than this bold black Sharpie, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, what I need you to do is once you're finished with this, you're gonna upload this and you may start working on your project. I do wanna give you a little bit of tips for your project, okay? The space that you're gonna be working on is relatively small because you're gonna be using a paper plate. I only have this one, you might have a little bit bigger. Do not use the waxy side, okay? You need the back, all right? This is a little bit thicker, all right? And can handle the paint, all right? Also, do me a favor, don't forget to tell people that you're painting on paper plates, just in case they may think, oh, you just ate your dinner and I need to throw it away. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and by the way, yes, you are allowed to design the outer ring as well. And that is it.